Today on this semester's last edition of Carolina Week, we take a look at the sky-high achievements out of UNC Global, an upcoming blood drive in Chapel Hill, and inflation around Chapel Hill as the holidays approach.
And it's the last day of class, as we call it, LDOC. We'll tell you what's happening around campus.
All this and more next on Carolina Week.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to this semester's last edition of Carolina Week. I'm Kelly Kendall.
And I'm Stephen Schlink. 52 years ago, a young black man by the name of James Cates Jr. was murdered right here in the pit at UNC Chapel Hill. Exactly 52 years after his death, the university dedicated a memorial to honor his life. The dedication and memorial service was held in the pit last week. Family and friends of Cates were in attendance, and emotions were high as they spoke of the injustice of that night. His story is now engraved on UNC's campus, but many still wonder what took so long.
And inflation in the U.S. is currently at 7.7%. And for businesses in Chapel Hill, this economic climate has had different effects. I spoke with local business owners about how they're doing with the holidays coming up.
Inflation, shortages, and price increases. Those phrases have become all too familiar for businesses in Chapel Hill and across the U.S.
Our cost of goods has gone up.
Holly Dedman is the store manager at Chapel Hill Sportswear on Franklin Street. She said that higher prices for the store mean higher prices for customers.
From the ground up, all the prices are increasing. So we've had to pay more for our products. So, of course, we've had to pass some of those price increases along to the customers, but we've tried our best to keep things as low as we could.
For others, like Ramesh Dahal, the owner of Momo's Master Himalayan Bistro, prices have been fairly steady.
So as far as supply chain here issues, we don't struggle here. We have several vendors we can get the purchase from.
Though students are headed home for the holidays soon, Dahal said Momo's Master enjoys visitors from outside the Chapel Hill area throughout the season. And for Dedman, the holidays are great for business, especially online sales.
So I have lots of orders that are going out today, lots of orders still to fill tomorrow. So people are definitely shopping online.
Despite a challenging economy, businesses in Chapel Hill are persevering. Momo's Master celebrated 1 year of business on Monday, and Dahal said it's all because of the people.
I believe small will get bigger with no time if we continue to get the support and love from this town.
And as inflation rises, more and more Americans struggle to afford to put food on the table. The Pantry Bowl is an annual philanthropic event hosted jointly by the Carolina Cupboard and NC State's Feed the Pack food pantry. They raise money to feed university students who struggle with food insecurity. This year, the two schools raised about $150,000, outnumbering both last year's monetary total and individual number of donations. The president of Carolina Cupboard had this to say to Tar Heels and Wolfpack alike about the turnout.
And overall, I'm very proud about how the Pantry Bowl went. Although we did not win, the real winner here is that both pantries got both resources that we all needed, and it gave us the right promotion that we needed.
International travel is making a comeback after the COVID-19 pandemic. Open Doors Institute of International Education has released its 2022 report on international education exchange. UNC ranked 11th among U.S. universities for study abroad, with 5th in long-term study abroad opportunities and 10th for semester-long study abroad programs among doctorate-granting universities. UNC Global said that by the end of the year, more than 2,000 Carolina students are expected to study abroad, and that's more than any previous year.
For a few weeks now, we've heard from Raihana Ahmadi, who resettled in Raleigh after fleeing her home in Afghanistan. In this last installment, we hear about her experience in the United States so far and her hopes for the future.
I remember From the day that we came to the United States, I called my mom every day and what should I do? What should I do?
That's where we left off with Rayhana Ahmadi, just having arrived in the United States after evacuating Afghanistan just over 1 year ago. But now,
I'm seeing to this all these like things that happened to me with a different prescription.
from living in military camps to staying with a host family, now Rayhana and her friends have their own apartment. Coming to the United States, Ahmadi worried about how people might treat her, but she says she's been pleasantly surprised.
I received emotional support. I received like feeling that I'm not alone here.
And she's still striving towards her goals and dreams.
Hopefully, I will apply for my master's degree.
Something Ahmadi worked toward before leaving Afghanistan. And remember the clothing business she started? She's planning to start it back up.
That was my big goal, and that was my big dream. I never want to lose it.
Especially after hearing this from the women she worked with in Afghanistan.
Whatever you start your work, we can work together, no matter how far we are.
Another goal of Ahmadi's, visiting other parts of the country she now calls home.
I'm excited to just like travel to other states of the United States and learn about their culture, about the people.
Though it's been hard, Ahmadi says this process has also been somewhat rewarding.
I feel like I become independent.
Rayhana also told me she plans to apply to NC State for her master's degree. We want to thank her for allowing us to share her story, and we wish her all the best.
The 2022 Holiday Carolina Blood Drive is right around the corner. Want to get involved? Here's everything you need to know. The university is once again teaming up with the American Red Cross for a blood drive on Wednesday, December 7th in Fetzer Hall from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you're a returning donor, you can visit whencanigiveblood.com to make sure you're eligible to give. Anyone interested can schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS, by visiting redcrossblood.org, or using the Blood Donor app with sponsor code UNC. Free parking is available in the Cobb deck throughout the event.
While health and well-being is on your mind, the new bivalent COVID booster has been around for some time. But are North Carolinians actually taking the shot? Reporter Pete Viesmeal has the story.
For many Tar Heels, the pandemic has been put behind them. Even so, less than 10% of the eligible population in North Carolina has gotten the most recent COVID booster. It's a situation that some medical professionals have called demoralizing. I spoke with a doctor and several students to get their thoughts as to why COVID booster rates are so low in North Carolina. Take a listen.
I got vaccinated because I pretty much wanted to protect myself and my family.
Eli Shell is a senior concerned with the low boosted rates, especially after losing several years of his college experience. He fears that complacency is what's causing the latest figures.
From what I've read, there's a lot of COVID fatigue. People are just kind of tired of hearing about COVID. They want a sense of normalcy. And in due part, they just want to be over with COVID. And part of that is just not taking any more vaccines.
In North Carolina, around 8% of eligible people have received the most recent booster. Nationwide, it's about the same. The figures haven't been encouraging for public health officials.
It's been very disappointing. I think the uptake, and I think it's likely we'll pay a price for that in terms of the number of cases we see going into the winter.
While most people in the country have acquired some form of immunity, either from a vaccine or infection, it's the possibility of a new variant like Delta or Omicron that has doctors so concerned. Bree Lucero volunteered with the Carolina Together initiative. During the height of the pandemic, the program helped administer COVID tests and vaccines, which helped facilitate the safe return to campus.
So after going through all that, it's kind of hard to hear that people aren't doing as much as they can to make sure we don't go back to that.
The situation has caused government officials to raise the alarm over the situation. Before the Thanksgiving holiday, Dr. Anthony Fauci addressed the American people, urging everyone to get the latest shot. In my conversations with Dr. Lessler, he urged that every student get their vaccine and their booster as soon as possible. Students can get their vaccine and booster right behind me here at Campus Health. Boosters and vaccines are also available at the Student Store Pharmacy located on the second floor of Student Stores. Reporting in Chapel Hill, this is Pete VSMU, Carolina Week.
In June, the fall of Roe v. Wade marked the end of the constitutional right to abortion, spurring abortion bans across the country. With the future of abortion uncertain in North Carolina, OGBYN residency programs are considering the impact of a potential ban. Lauren Ficton has the story.
My boss likes to say that we all know or love someone who's had an abortion. And if someone hasn't told you that they've had an abortion, then you're not being trustworthy.
That's Dr. Jonas Swartz. He's an assistant professor at Duke University School of Medicine's Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. As of August, abortion is banned after 20 weeks in North Carolina, but there's uncertainty as to whether a full ban would impact OBGYN training and residency programs. Swartz says a lot of the training doctors get in management of miscarriage or emptying the uterus from postpartum complications comes from abortion training.
Are you as well trained as a general OBGYN who does not perform abortion if you don't know how to do those procedures? I would argue no.
Republicans, all they need to do to really make things happen is to convince one person from the Democratic side to either vote with them or just not be there.
In the midterm election, North Carolina Republicans fell one House seat short of achieving a supermajority in both chambers. This means Governor Roy Cooper has the thinnest of margins to use his veto power to block abortion bills.
I think it will be detrimental to people who become pregnant if they don't have a cadre of OBGYNs who are well trained in emptying a uterus.
In the aftermath of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, some aspiring OBGYNs, like the ones here at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, are considering how an abortion ban might impact their medical school experience and thinking twice about where they choose to enroll. Serenity Bennett, a biology major with experience as a birth doula, is one of these students.
One of the main factors that I'm personally weighing is whether or not abortion is legal in that state, if I would have the opportunity to have those experiences, learn about abortion care.
As students like Serenity grapple with the potential implications of attending medical school in a state with an abortion ban,
I would definitely seek that education elsewhere. I'm from a state where abortion is legal and will likely stay so potentially exploring other educational opportunities.
I'm Lauren Ficton, reporting.
The Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education already required OGBYN residency programs to offer abortion training. After Roe was overturned, the council proposed that programs experiencing legal restrictions preventing this kind of training must send their residents somewhere where they'll be able to access it. This will likely mean crossing state lines, but it's a commitment that some students are willing to make.
For nearly a decade, a UNC Global hydrology professor has played a key role in the development of a $1 billion NASA satellite launching in December. The brand new satellite is called the SWAT Mission, or the Surface, Water, and Ocean Topography. The satellite will photograph the world's rivers, lakes, and oceans to learn where the world's water is and how it's changing. Dr. Tamlin Pavelski served as hydrology science lead for the mission starting in 2013. For his work, Pavelski earned a Presidential Early Career Award for scientists and engineers. This is the highest award given by the U.S. government to early career researchers.
Especially early on in the mission, when we were really doing a lot of the designing, it was a lot of back and forth between the people who were, dealing with volts and actually having to build the satellite, and the people like me who are really interested in using the data to better understand our world.
You can hear all about the mission from Dr. Pavelski himself at the Moorhead Planetarium on December 5th at 10 a.m. The event is free and open to the public. And when we come back, a look at some more events going on around campus as this semester comes to a close.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
STEM is everywhere, like here. behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
It's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. I personally have 3 more semesters here on campus, but time is up for some Tar Heels in the next few weeks.
That's right. So let's hear what some graduating seniors had to say about the end of an era.
The people have just really made UNC feel like home to me, and I know when I come back and visit, UNC will always have a special place in my heart because there's just so much that it has taught me and brought me. It's grown me both professionally and personally.
Obviously, I think I'm ready. I think I'm done with tests. I think I'm done with all that. I'm excited for what the future holds, but I'm gonna miss this place. This place is special to me.
If you haven't already, make sure you've applied for graduation through your Connect Carolina account. Select Apply for Graduation from the drop-down box on the Academics tab and follow the directions to confirm all program and personal information.
Winter commencement kicks off at the Dean Dome on Sunday, December 11th at 2 p.m.
But before our graduates leave us, it's the last day of classes here on campus, so expect Franklin Street to be full of Tar Heels celebrating the end of the semester.
That's right, and you may also spot a celebrity or two in town. Franklin Street's newest club, Still Life, will be hosting rapper Waka Flocka Flame. This isn't the rapper's first time in Chapel Hill, though, with a sold-out show at Cat's Cradle in Carborough in 2016, and 3 back-to-back sold-out nights at the venue the following year. Flocka's last visit was in 2018 to headline UNC's Spring Jubilee. So we asked students why they want to see the rapper on stage.
Waka Flocka coming on Wednesday for LDOC is going to be really fun and exciting. I do photography there, so having an opportunity to just shoot him and see him will be really fun.
I've been to Still Life a couple of times this school year, and it's always been a lot of fun. And I made sure to get my ticket in advance because I knew it would be sold out. And I'm just really excited that another hip hop artist is coming to Chapel Hill. I think it's really important for Black UNC to have that sort of representation, and it's just a great way to bring everyone together and a great way to end off the semester.
Venue doors open at 10 p.m. this evening, and ticket prices range from $30 to $50 at stilllife.com/events.
And if you're looking for a festive study break this weekend, catch the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra at Memorial Hall. The performance will feature 5-time Grammy Award-winning vocalist Diane Reeves and emerging vocalist Samara Joy. Tickets are on sale now at carolinaperformingarts.org. Student tickets are only $10 with a valid one card.
That holiday singing sure looks like a good time.
It really does. And if anyone is interested in more holiday events, this Saturday, Chapel Hill and Carborough will host the Community Holiday Parade for the first time since 2019, pre-COVID. The parade will begin at 10:30 a.m. on the corner of Franklin Street and Church Street, and it will end by the Carborough Town Hall at about 12:30. It features diverse holiday traditions as well as marching bands and choirs from local schools.
And here to tell us about the weather during the parade is Carolina Week meteorologist Corey Kowitz.
Well, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving break, and we're back with your weekly weather report. Since we were gone, though, we had an incredible weather event, lake effect snow, record-breaking lake effect snow. Take a look at some of these snowfall totals. 81.2 inches, you're reading that right, just south of Buffalo and Orchard Park. That is just under 7 feet for reference. And this photo is one of my favorites from that lake effect snow event. I mean, look at this. You're looking at just a football field or two separating clear conditions with maybe a flurry with white out conditions. And that's the story with lake effect snow. Really sharp gradients, almost like a thunderstorm for snow in terms of the localized nature of it and how heavy it can get. But in terms of more recent news in the weather, yesterday we had an incredible severe weather outbreak here in the Mississippi Valley, 4 out of 5 on the severe scale, lots of tornadoes wreaking havoc from a cold front. That cold front in the severe threat is going to shift east for today. The severe weather is not going to be as enhanced as it was yesterday, but in Georgia, you can see it's going to get into the marginal risk for today. And we're right on the edge of the thunderstorm risk here. So we're not looking at anything severe, no severe wind, hail, no chance of a tornado, but maybe a rumble of thunder and a shower is most likely. But you can see here on our surface map, we are still ahead of that cold front that's going to come through. So we got that warm air streaming in from the Gulf, moist, warm air. You can see it reflecting our highs with that cool air coming in right behind it, right on our tail. But those high temperatures are going to get pretty warm, pretty mild for this time of the year, into the mid-60s in our region. As you head up to the north, more of a high of 60, down to our south, more of a high of 70. But and we can see, looking for a class-by-class forecast on Wednesday, it's going to be in the low 60s at noontime. You can see maybe a shower or two, maybe a break in the shower right now. But overall, we're seeing some showers in the region clearing out by 3 o'clock into the mid-60s for our max temperature, and plummeting quickly as the sun sets into the mid-50s as we go towards 6 o'clock. But this cold front is the story of this week. It is going to get really, really chilly. These are the lows for tonight, down into the low 30s. Might get it below 30. Certainly a possibility as this cold front works its way through. So if you have any events on Thursday, make sure to bundle up, because tomorrow morning it's going to be a big, big cool down. Not going to get that much cooler in terms of our highs tomorrow either. Low 50s, could not even crack 50 degrees. It's certainly a possibility. Low 50s throughout our region. But I'd be remiss if we did not talk about that big matchup on Saturday against Clemson. This is a photo from 2015 when we faced off in the ACC Championship against Heisman winner and champ. Actually, no, he didn't win a Heisman. He should have won a Heisman. But champion Deshaun Watson for Clemson. That was a tough game. Hopefully we can have a different result. But tailgating and for our kickoff, we're looking at the low 60s, high 50s by the time of the game's end. We're looking at high 40s, low 50s. However, we do have a chance of a shower, although the temperatures will be nice. We do have a chance of showers as of now, but it is a long time in the future. Things can change. If you head out to the game, make sure to check the forecast to see if there will be any wet weather. As of now, it looks like there certainly could be. So umbrella, rain gear is certainly a possibility for this game. You're headed out to Charlotte for the game. A jacket. It won't be warm. It'll be more cool. So you want to wear a layer or two to keep yourself cool out there for hours on end for the game. And eyes on the prize. Championship is the goal as our football team takes on Clemson for a huge, huge matchup to win the ACC championship. But to summarize our weather here in our 5-day forecast, cold front's going to come through with it. The rain we saw today is going to sweep by, clear out this afternoon, cool down a bunch. And that cold front's going to come through, dry us out, cool us down for the end of your week, Thursday and Friday. But rain chances return for your game day on Saturday, with our temperatures rising up to 66, and also mild on Sunday with our rain chances going away there. So cold front's going to be there for a little bit. It's going to warm up for a weekend and into next week. So it's going to remain mild after this short cold snap. So if you're not quite ready for winter weather, this is good news, because fall is going to cling on for just a bit longer. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Corey. Stick with us, because when we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in Carolina athletics.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out? You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Stephen, I heard the women's soccer team is having a great postseason.
Yeah, I heard that too. And I believe they're actually now going to be playing for the chance to go to the final. So let's turn it over to Sports Extra anchor Kyle Lobenhofer to learn more.
You are absolutely right. The UNC women's soccer team is having a stellar postseason and will be back in Cary for the College Cup on Friday. The Heels will take on number 1 seed Florida State in hopes of avenging their ACC championship loss earlier this month. This will be the third matchup between the two schools this season, with the series tied 1 apiece. The team will look to junior midfielders Avery Patterson and Talia Della Peruta, alongside first-year forward Allie Sentner, to continue to find the back of the net. Kickoff for the sold-out showdown is set for 6 p.m.
Obviously, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a battle. We always battle with them. And I think they were obviously coming off of a loss from them. So I think we have this edge of just being ready to kick some butt, hopefully, and we're just excited.
The number 6 ranked women's basketball team will look to improve its record to 7-0 as the Heels face Indiana tomorrow on the road. The team just came off an electrifying performance at the Phil Knight Invitational. They went undefeated and beat then-ranked 5 Iowa State in the final to win the tournament. Indiana is coming into the game on Thursday also undefeated and now ranked number 5. This will be the second top 10 opponent Carolina has faced this season. This matchup will be crucial for the Heels to see how they stack up against tougher opponents. The Heels will tip off at 6 p.m. tomorrow in Indiana. The North Carolina men's basketball team is looking to bounce back tonight at Indiana. The once top-ranked Tar Heels dropped 18 spots in the AP polls after going 1-2 in the Phil Knight Invitational last weekend. UNC's competition ramps up tonight in the ACC Big Ten Challenge as North Carolina will battle number 10 Indiana on the road. The Hoosiers are led by preseason All-American forward Trace Jackson Davis, who leads Indiana in scoring at more than 18 points per contest. Tip-off is set for 9:15 p.m. The UNC football team dropped its final 2 games of the regular season after securing its second ever ACC Coastal Division title 3 weeks ago, and now look ahead to the ACC Championship game on Saturday. In their lone other appearance in the ACC title game, the 2015 Heels fell to Clemson 45-37 due to a controversial penalty that overturned an onside kick recovery. This Saturday, the Heels will look to win their first ACC championship since 1980 against the Clemson Tigers in Charlotte. Clemson has arguably the best front 7 in all of college football, with many future first-round draft picks that can wreak havoc. Carolina will need a near-perfect game to be able to beat the highly favored Tar Heels, hoping to secure a berth in a good bowl next month. One student organization provides the opportunity to guarantee a seat at football and men's basketball games. To talk about how attending Carolina Fever events helps students see these games, here's Hunter Caparelli.
There are some iconic fan bases. The 12th man with the Seattle Seahawks, the Bleacher Creatures with the New York Yankees, and the Deer District with the Milwaukee Bucks. However, UNC's student fan organization, Carolina Fever, has been creating its own legacy.
Ever since last year, the energy and atmosphere has been absolutely insane. Coaches have been reaching out to us, trying to get more events on their schedule. And now that we're in postseason, every event that's being held at home, they want us there because they know that we're going to bring the energy of the crowd, and they want the students there.
Carolina Fever also travels well, from driving down Tobacco Road to the school in Durham, all the way to New Orleans for the Final Four. Fever is always ready to support Carolina on the road.
I mean, the atmosphere of games has been incredible. Every event has been super well attended. We've seen a lot of people come out just from the very beginning of the year to a recent event. And coaches really know the impact of having a Fever event. Coaches always come to us every year asking for more and more Fever events because they really do have an impact on the teams. So I'd just say in general, even compared to most years, the atmosphere has been just exceptionally well all year.
One particular Fever tradition that students have taken by storm is at the beginning of the fourth quarter for home football games, the student section will hold up 4 fingers to the mixture of AC/DC's Hell's Bells and Roy Jones Jr.'s Can't Be Touched. Everyone then moves their arms back and forth, signifying the end for the opposition. The challenge of simply winning lottery tickets this year was stressed by many Fever directors.
It is absolutely more competitive this year. We're already up into the 50s for in terms of points for the 150 cutoff. I've heard from numerous of my friends who said it's been ultra competitive this year. I think the basketball team, with their success last year, is obviously driving that.
If there's one thing that the largest UNC student organization has proved this year, is that when Carolina sports are succeeding, the atmosphere on the Chapel Hill campus is that much more exciting and exhilarating. This is Hunter Caparelli reporting from Dorrance Field.
The Carolina Fever events have been absolutely electric this year, with plenty of students trying to get on the Fever leaderboard. Winning basketball tickets is going to be tough, to say the least. Though this is our last sports block of the semester, there will be plenty of Carolina athletic events to cheer about over the holidays. We'll see you back in January for Sports Extra. You're watching Carolina Week, so stick around.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
A teacher's focus on fun while changing the world has created a community of future leaders at play. Reporter Halsey Ziegler has the story.
Debbie Suggs has taught first grade at Durham Academy for the past 35 years. She leads the charge for the FFGE, or the Fabulous First Grade Explorers.
A fabulous first grade explorer lives their life loud. They show people who they are by their words and actions. Who we are is someone who wants to make a difference in the world, a positive difference. Sounds a lot for a 6-year-old, but it is who we are.
What does this mean? Thank you. I want to say thank you. You've made my morning a delight.
Much like the story of the Giving Tree, Suggs pours her heart into each and every one of her students.
Way to go.
It's not just the kids who love her. Parents say that Suggs consistently goes the extra mile.
She goes above and beyond. You can text her at 10 o'clock at night and say anything. She's thorough. She wants to make sure your child is not just an intelligent first grader, but a good person. Beyond the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, you can look at this classroom and tell there's so much going on.
Ms. Suggs' classroom is overflowing with nautical decorations, activities, books, and a group of fuzzy characters. The class's favorite? Hermie the Hermit Crab.
Now I know why he doesn't do phonics very well, because hermit crabs don't have ears.
Over her career, Mrs. Suggs has taught over 400 students, all of whom she considers family. She keeps every single gift and even wears her students' names around her neck. In 2019, she received the school's Legacy Award. Though she would deny deserving this recognition, her students, their parents, and her teaching assistant would say otherwise.
I love her. She shows my child she cares.
I think 100% she deserves it. My goal in life is to step into her shoes and do the same thing she does. She is the best of the best, and she's taught me how to build these relationships with the kids that they'll hold on to for the rest of their lives.
Stephen, I don't know about you, but I would love to take a class with Miss Suggs.
I would too. And in fact, Halsey, the reporter who did the story, told me that Miss Suggs was actually her teacher when she was younger. So it just takes the story to a whole different level.
That is just so cute.
It really is. It's one of the sweetest stories I think I've ever seen. Well, before we go, we want to give a huge shout out to Carolina Wheat's Eric Weir, who is graduating this fall. It's your last LDOC ever. Thanks for all you do. We are so proud of you. We love you, man.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Carolina Week this semester. We'll see you right back here in January.